You know, it's a Friday afternoon, close to quitting time for those who really work the daylight shift here at the plant, because Charles Orr is actually shooting this video, one of our amazing account execs. We couldn't do it without him. We love a good sale in this wonderful business. Now, meantime, here's something that the Post-Gazette has had out and about. 50 years of your Pittsburgh Penguins, of course. Lemieux there, Crosby there, Ron Francis there, Tom Barrasso there, the great EJ there as well. But inside, Mr. Hathorn, quickly, the top 10. Marc-Andre Fleury, Kevin Stevens, Tom Barrasso, Jean Pronovo. We have just a few more. Rick Kehoe, there he is. Ron Francis, great player. And Evgeny Malkin, Jaromir Jagr. And the final two, top 10. Sidney Crosby, Mario Lemieux. That stack up pretty good?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough argue. I mean, maybe a couple guys that you could switch, still Jagr and Crosby, but it's getting more and more that Sid's starting to separate himself in his Penguins career. I mean, obviously he hasn't had the overall career as Jaromir Jagr, but yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I'm sure there are some sentimental favorites that people would want to see in that list. And anytime you do a list, as Genny found out, not being in the NHL's top 100, there's always some complaining or speculating or wondering as to why.
36 goals, Crosby, 34 assists. Malcolm, it's the Coors Light Stadium Series, dropping the puck, NBC, Heinz Field, be a sellout. Hopefully it will get a little cold so they won't be swimming as opposed to skating.
It looks like 39 is going to be the temperature when they drop the puck. Here's the smart thing. Last time they had it at 1. This one's going to be at night. Always been scheduled at night. Good move by them because obviously it's going to be colder at night. They were holding this during the day. Probably be rain, 50 degrees. There would have been no game, at least there. Maybe they would have had to move it over to the PPG Paints Arena.
All right, our crack engineering department, talking to the wonderful producers, 93.7 The Fan, getting ramped up for their first broadcast tomorrow. It is Pirates spring training action. Pirates, Tampa Bay, a little after 1 o'clock. How do you see the lineup? And I heard Gregory Polanco put on a few pounds, so maybe he can drive the ball over the fence more this year.
Well, it's a split squad to start tomorrow, so they have different guys in different positions. But I saw the starting lineup had Adam Frazier leading off at shortstop.
Wow.
Now you would expect Mercer to be in there when they get into real games, but then the 2, 3, 4, Marte, McCutcheon, Polanco, then Freeze. Cervelli's not ready. They had Jason Rogers at first. They're working Alan Hansen at second, so it's way early to read too much into, but they want to get as much time. They only have a week to work that starting outfield together in their new spots.
Good to hear Greg Brown, Joe Block, Bob Walk, and Steve Glass eventually having back the Rock.
Yeah, Sunday on the Fan. Jamison Tynan starts. It's against Baltimore because the Fan has Pitt basketball tomorrow, so that first game will be Sunday.
Yeah, Pitt taking on North Carolina.
Yeah,
at the peak.
Hey, for the most optimistic Pitt fans, you still have hope, but you would need to win this game. You need to win at Virginia. And win a couple of ACC games as well. I mean, you can't lose again. Even if that's the case, maybe that gets them back on the talk. It depends on what other teams do, though. It's just that game against Wake Forest was a killer.
Palm Garden, Florida, as in Palm Beach. The highlight, ladies and gentlemen. They're playing golf, the Honda Classic this weekend. Right now, some crazy weather, start times backed up and just all screwed up. But right now, here's what you got. You got Wesley Ryan and Ryan Palmer, not to be confused with Sam Saunders, the actual grandson of Arnold Palmer. So tell me about the Honda Classic on the PGA Tour.
Well, the field isn't as big this week as it was last.
I saw Martin Keimer in there. I didn't recognize
you
too many names.
You don't see some of the names. Stuart Sink is back. His wife's been battling, so it's good to see him back. We're getting in that swing where people are starting to think about Augusta.
Oh yeah,
and
especially when it's warm, 75 degrees.
Exactly. They should be playing up here.
All right, last thing, I'll let you go. Jeff Hathorn, our sports director, News Radio 1020 KDK 93.7 The Fan. Big day coming up, race day Sunday, Fox. You've got Chase Elliott, the son of Bill Elliott, two-time winner. He's on the pole, 21 years of age. You also have Dale Earnhardt Jr., 88, both Hendrick Motorsports guys back. It's exciting stuff, and I'd love to see Dale Earnhardt there in the end. But something tells me it's going to be the guy who races the oval in the shell car, Joey Logano, who won it in 2015. Fox will have it all.
Yeah, I like your pick of Logano. I think that's a good pick. You don't know what you're going to get from a young kid like Elliott. I mean, maybe he runs well. The thing is, in the super speedway anymore, you don't see a ton of passing. It's about those pit stops. Who's going to have a good crew? And sentimentally, like Michael Waltrip, it's his final race, but he's starting 30th. That's a lot of ground to make up. And I know you're saving the best story for last.
Okay.
Because tomorrow at 3 is the final game at the Soul Center. Robert Morris hosting Sacred Heart. And that'll be it for the Soul Center. They're going to build their brand new facility, which will be ready in 2019, which is going to be awesome for them. But you know, for people that have attended games, I know you've been there.
Oh, yeah.
There have been a lot of big games in that building. It's not the greatest setup for college basketball, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of Robert Morris fans that'll have a tear in their eye when that one closes.
To give them some love, you know, you got the Peterson Event Center, AJ Palumbo Center, Duke's on the road to St. Bonaventure tomorrow at 4. But when all the years that we were struggling, true basketball fans, to have a college team we could wrap our arms around, head to the postseason, and just get excited about maybe even going to, well, find someone to dance with. Robert Morris, Andy Toole, coaches before him, always gave us that glimmer of hope. So Robert Morris has got more of a basketball history, D1, in this area than a lot of people realize.
I've had some coaches go on to do some really good things. Coach Mark Schmidt, who's up at St. Bonaventure, got his team in the tournament. We all know what happened with Mike Rice at Rutgers, but a heck of a basketball coach. And Andy's been in the NCAA tournament as well. He's had some things happen recently. Hopefully he's got a young nucleus so he can get it back going next year and think about being in the top half of the NEC.
That's a great university, and they just do a lot in the community, and I'm really excited about their new complex. Folks, have yourself a great weekend. Jeff Hathorn, every 20 minutes, 93.7 The Fan. And right now, with Robert Mangino on the KDK Afternoon News.